with the Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announcing 15,000 crore excess budget to completion of Polavaram project, to industrial corridor and several other bonus points for the NDA allied TDP government in the state of Andhra Pradesh. We are joined by TDP spokesperson Jyothsna Madam, Professor Jyothsna Madam. What do you have to say? What is the TDP stand here?
See, we said we are committed for the development of Andhra Pradesh. We said we are working to make sure everything falls in place, especially financially for the state, and that's the reason I think for the past couple of weeks continuously we have been following it up with the central ministers and the concerned departments and ministries, because see, as on date we require support for the construction of the capital city of Amaravati. We require support for the completion of Polavaram. We require support in terms of industrial corridors. We require support in terms of capital investment in the state. We have always been asking this, and definitely today's budget speech by Nirmala Sitharaman ji actually highlights most of it. They also said, it was very clear in that particular speech when she spoke about AP Reorganization Act. She said the NDA government at the center is committed to the AP Reorganization Act, and according to that, for the development and for the reconstruction, I would say, because for the past 5 years has been real bad for the state of Andhra Pradesh. The state has probably gone back around 20-30 years. So now for the reconstruction of the state of Andhra Pradesh, 15,000 crore rupees for the capital city of Amaravati, and whatever is the assistance required coming years also they would extend that. We have to note these points, and also the complete assurance that has been given for the completion of Polavaram in terms of even in fact yesterday we got a nod of around 12,140 crores for the Polavaram first phase of works that were done, and also 2 industrial corridors, one in the Visakhapatnam and Chennai route, and the other one in the Hyderabad and Bangalore route. 2 nods have been approved, and also several other projects that they were talking about. It completely shows the commitment of the NDA government for the state of Andhra Pradesh, and also I would like to quote here that when you have an efficient state government, this is what happens. When you have a committed leader, this is what happens.
While we say that this is a recent government that has been formed, we can say it is a honeymoon period, and if you say it is efficient, there were other promises that were given during the YSRCP regime as well by the central government, by the same NDA government in center. So those promises somewhere feel like they were incomplete. So now what do you see? Do you see that this is where the TDP or the Andhra Pradesh government is going to settle down? Will there not be a special status demand that will be in place? Other demands that the AP government, they have been long pending by the AP government, will they not be in the cards for the upcoming days?
See, when you talk about the special status, many a times it has been made clear in the recent past, saying that we are asking for the development and reconstruction of the state. Whether you call it special status, whether you call it special package, even today there was something special for Andhra Pradesh. So you want to name it that way, I don't have a problem with that. But for us, the major thing is sustained and sustained support from the center. I'm not just looking at 2020, 24-25 budget, or I'm just not looking at 1 or 2 years. I'm looking at the coming 5 years. This year, the concentration is on Amaravati, the concentration is on Polavaram, the concentration is on industrial corridors. Let's assume. So next year, I have my other priorities set as well for the state. So definitely it's just not going to be, I would also like to differ with you when you say honeymoon period. No, absolutely not. We have, even during our earlier regime, we were a performing government, and now also it's an NDA government in the state of Andhra Pradesh, and we are performing in the initial 45 days that we are in power now. We have almost, I think we have signed 5 documents, and all the 5 files, we are just moving ahead with them. The pensions that we said we are going to give, the enhanced pensions, we have given them along with the arrears. We have given the DSC notification. We are talking about the Anna canteens, starting all over again, and we are talking about the Land Titling Act. In fact, the bill is pending in the Assembly. It's almost discussed in the Assembly today. The Land Titling Act that we are trying to eradicate that, and also several other promises that we have given, and the free bus for the women, and the Talliki Vandanam scheme. So we are doing our bit. Yes, but as I said, we are looking at a sustained support from the center. And that is the need of the hour. Today, as I said earlier also, AP needs support from the center. AP is in a very, I think, bad financial condition, and that's the reason we have put forward certain requests before the central ministers as well. If you remember, last 2 weeks back when our Honorable Chief Minister Shri Nara Chandrababu Naidu Garu went to Delhi, he categorically met all the concerned ministers. He spoke about the Girajapatnam port. He spoke about the capital investment in the capital area. He spoke about the Polavaram. He spoke about the backward regions special package that we are going to, something like the Bundelkhand package. Even that was mentioned today.
What is the difference that you see? Earlier, during the YSRCP regime, they claimed that they have done development. Now you say that no, we are efficient, and that is the reason the center is rewarding or awarding us. So what do you see?
See, my thing is efficient and also committed. You know, you have reported then also. So you know it. For the past 5 years, I think, yes, 5 budget has gone, but has a single time Jagan gone and, you know, Jagan has gone there and asked for, this is what I require for the state. We are very, and we have given it to the media also, what we have spoken to the ministers. Even you have a copy of it saying that this is what CM has asked the concerned ministers, whether, as I said, 15,000 crores is what we asked for the capital city. Yes. The reconstruction of the roads and buildings and all those things there, because these are, we have made it very clear, our priorities set one by one, and we are going one step at a time, and we know that it is very important to set right things in the state of Andhra Pradesh. And as I said, Jagan has always, you know, believed in his own methodology, what we call. And I still don't understand what his methodology was. He had 22 MPs with him then also, right? We have around 21 now. But now we were able to, you know, put forward, I don't call it demands, I don't believe in that blackmail politics or no. What I'm saying is we were able to put forward the requirements of the state in a proper manner before the central government. And understand one thing, any government which is at the center does not want to lose any state revenue, is it? If the state improves, definitely the state revenue would improve. And especially when it comes to both the Telugu states, we are, I think, the highest revenue generating states as well, when compared to most of other states. So any central government would not you know, they would not think of just keeping us aside. It's just your commitment, your way how you are dealing with the things, and also proper portrayal of the representations for the state.
Like you mentioned about both the Telugu states, we have also seen Chief Minister Revanth Reddy visiting Delhi, and the other ministers also visiting the union ministers, demanding whatever the demands they have put forward. But what we see that Andhra Pradesh is getting its share. What about Telangana? How do you see Telangana's share that is to be given by the NDA government in center? You are also a part of the government, and what would be your measures for you know, the grant for Telangana?
See, as I said, Andhra Pradesh is in a, I think you people call it special status, special package. I say it's a special condition for the state of Andhra Pradesh because it has suffered. For the past 5 years, it has suffered a lot. Yes, but when it comes back, when we come back to Telangana, there are certain unfulfilled promises, no doubt about it. When you talk about the tribal university, when you talk about the Bayaram steel, or when you talk about the Singareni coal blocks that we are talking about right now, a lot of other issues are there which are to be resolved. And I believe the state government in Andhra Pradesh, in Telangana, I don't know whether they have put it properly or not, and I believe probably the NDA government would also look into it.
Well, what would you react to former Minister KTR's statement that he has stated that previously for the 10 years they have received a big zero, and now that the budget is announced, Telangana will get again a big zero. Now you are in power in the center, you are in the NDA alliance. What is your reaction?
See, I'll tell you one thing. I actually didn't want to comment on KTR's statement, but when you have asked me this question, and when he points out a finger at the NDA government, I think I'm supposed to answer that. The point is, if you say that for the past 10 years, Telangana has received zero, then whose failure is it? Isn't it your failure? Isn't it your failure? You were in the state government for 10 years, right? That means you were not able to, something like what Jagan did in Andhra Pradesh. You were not able to portray your state properly. You were not able to represent properly. You were not able to put forward proper numbers, proper figures before the central government, I believe. But still, the central government has supported the state in terms of the several schemes. Let's talk about the Awas Yojana, or let's talk about several other schemes. Hasn't the central government assisted you? They have assisted you. How can you just simply say that it's zero? Again, in this particular scenario, I'll tell you, for the past 10 years, we have received zero is what he says. Right? That's what the statement of KTR. My question is, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana is there. How many houses have you built in the past 10 years? Let's assume, or from the date that scheme was announced. And what about Ayushman Bharat? Why didn't you accept it then? What was your problem then? So you don't take up the schemes that are given by the NDA government at the center and you come out and say that we have received nothing. It's your failure. You are inefficient. You have not put forward your representations correctly. And I'll tell you one more thing. You can check in the concerned departments. None of the documents are there. See, whenever central government gives you a proper funding or whenever they have to give you a proper funding, they always look forward, even in the case of Polavaram, we were supposed to submit the documents and only after submission of the documents, that's when you get the release of the funding. And these people, even 2014 ke bhi abhi pending hai. 2014 ke bhi abhi pending hai. So what do you expect from the center? And yet again, I don't think the center is doing anything any sort of an injustice for the state of Telangana, because yes, we have around 8 MPs from Telangana as well. So all of our MPs have also represented in terms of Telangana's requirements and all, and yes, we are taking all of them into consideration also. But in when we have union budget, it's not it never is state specific budgets usually, isn't it? So but when it comes to Andhra Pradesh and Bihar, because there were separate, I would say special conditions there. For example, if you take Andhra Pradesh, we had a real bad financial situation in the state for the past 5 years. No capital for the state, no proper irrigation project for the state. And that's the reason the center has to consider a little bit extra for the state. So I believe that all the rest of the states would also get their chunk of meat. It's not the same, isn't it?
Like you mentioned, ma'am, Andhra was for the past 5 years in a special condition that you've mentioned. Telangana, you mean to say that KTR, according to his statement, now he's not bought anything. Do you think Revanth Reddy and his government here in Telangana is portraying the way like you are expecting it to be in the center, in front of the NDA government in center?
See, I'll have to comment on that. I'll have to wait for the final allocations, because what we have got is a, overall central budget what we see today, except for some, as I said, some specific benefits to certain states on the basis of their requirements. Apart from that, let's say if you talk about industrial corridors, if you're talking about some railway lines or whatnot, I believe Telangana would also get its share, and I believe the state government of Telangana should be smart enough. I put it very categorically here. Revanth Reddy and his team should be smart enough to portray the requirements of the state in front of the central government along with the numbers. Along with the numbers.
Smart here?
See, because you can't just simply say that you are from NDA and I am from Congress, so just give me what I want. No, you have to put forward the numbers. Why would I ask him to join NDA? It's a Congress government there. You're talking something like what? Is it in their brains or what? Has Revanth Reddy told you that he's trying to join NDA? No, again, jokes apart, my intention is, see, why have I told you this is, let's say, for example, if we talk about, Pranahita Chevella, or if we talk, because it was supposed to have a status there, national project status, and also we were talking about Kaleshwaram, we were talking about so many things. So where are the numbers? आपने जितना पैसा आया है उसको कहाँ खर्च किए हुआ? You have to show the numbers, no? Until and unless you show that balance sheet and numbers, how will you get the next slot of allocations? So that's where I said Revanth Reddy should be smart enough to, portray your requirements in front of the central government properly in terms of, substantiative evidences with it, proper numbers, proper figures, proper documentation. I believe, see, as I said, these two states are income generating states for the country as well. So any central government would not, keep them aside. Agar aap Telangana se, if you are getting good amount of income, let's say if Telangana is prospering, automatically the income would be, shared with the central government again, right? So definitely any of the government in center would not leave any state apart, is my belief.
Thank you so much for speaking with us, ma'am. So this was TDP spokesperson, Professor Jyothsna, ma'am.